3, 2, 1.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean, that flat drop got me looking at these craters in a whole nother way. We'll be back with that part 6, the flat drop 1972 work shield, USA archive drop. Hey, for all your comments, we're going to keep building, keep investigating. Now I'm just doing a free for all, man. I'm just digging on just some, drop that is on my mind right now. We're going to dig on some Dragon drop, some Meteor drop. We just surfed away. We're just surfing away, doing a roundup on a few different thoughts we've been having along our investigation, man. It all connects. It's all one thing. Craters. Craters. I don't think so. Yeah. You say craters? I mean, what you say, New York Times? This chick Shaloop crater? You talking craters? We're talking dinosaurs? Dinosaurs. We're just talking dinos, right? We're just talking dinos, man. Dinos? Many have often connected dragons to dinosaurs. Dragons to dinosaurs. For instance, crocodiles are considered cousins to the dinosaur branch. When describing dragons, many dinosaur-like things pop up. Let's just kick it from here. Read it with me. The problem stems not from evidence, but from the word. The word dinosaur did not exist until 1841, when it was coined by Sir Robert Owen. New York Times. We talking dinosaurs? Craters? Dinosaur? Or are we talking dragon? That's an important question that, the answer depends a lot on perspective. And it's a pertinent question that must be answered relative to our investigation. Many believe that man did not live during the time of dinosaurs, which means that dragons came about some other means, but it has been argued that dragons are dinosaurs. Dragons are dinosaurs. The correlation between dragons and dinosaurs is obvious. And in more than just appearance, the variation between dragons and the variation between dinosaurs, at least in Western tradition, seems to mirror each other. They got the same species of dragons, species of dinosaurs. Look in the Children's Museum, you got the Draco Rexes, man. Dinosaur bones of a Draco Rexes. What, a T-Rex that's missing his wings? The point is, my noggin, that the problem stems not from the evidence, but from the word dinosaur. The word did not exist. So when anybody mentions a dinosaur to you, tell them that the word dinosaur did not exist until 1841. It's like when somebody's saying Jesus, tell them that the letter J did not exist until the 17th century. You need to rethink your reality. The word dinosaur did not exist until 1841 because dragons are dinosaurs. And all the variations and species of dragons are the same variations and species of dinosaurs. What then would mankind call these huge reptilian beasts which ruled the world before them? The conclusion is simple. Dinosaurs were, in fact, dragons, renamed by scientists who wanted to separate myth and science. So they said, we'll put mythology in this compartment, science over here. Whenever we want to dig on dragons, we'll call it dinosaurs publicly. But whenever we want to talk about dragons, we'll call that mythology, make a bunch of cartoons, and let's just go crazy like that. We'll turn that into a myth while still talking dragons, but coining it dinosaurs. In what year? 1841. Ain't even been 200 years that this word dinosaur has been used. Dinosaurs. The variation between dragons and the variations between dinosaurs seem to mirror each other. Then I said, didn't we talk about the Draco Rexes before? Oh, you thought this was play. I get it. I get it. Meet Draco Rex Hogwarts. You think this is play? Oh, it's not a dragon, it's a dinosaur. It's not a dragon, it's a dinosaur. The word dragon, the word dinosaur was not in use before 1841, coined by a hijack, separating myth and science. Draco Rex's Hogwarts. So come see this dragon. We'll just take off the wings. But we'll still call it a dragon. We'll still call it a Draco Rex. What is a Dracorexis? A dinosaur that is new to science and bears a close resemblance to a fairy tale dragon. No, it is a dragon. That's why you call it a Draco, with his bony head covered in spikes and knobs. Plant-eating dragon. Plant-eating dragon lived in where? Asia and where? America. So this is an American Drakon called Draco Rex Hogwarts in a children's museum. Is it play? Because I promise y'all, I can't make this shit up. Look at this, man. This is a damn dragon, man. It's a doggone dragon. Oh, man. We just surfing the wave. Dragons or dinos? Would you say, New York Times, that this crater, that they're connected with the Yucatan in Mexico? First, it's just asinine that they're using the same photo of this secret work shield USA Archive 1972 flat Earth. And all they did was blur out all the middle part, right? But they kept all this, which is what? Telling us that this is what? Green land? That this is really supposed to be green land? And they're calling this a crater. One of the largest craters. And they got the nerve to call this an artist's impression, man. Love to the family on IG, my sister becoming Dr. Hammond, who dropped some very pertinent recon, man. And we're just touching, we're just taking our time with it. Aqua, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get to all even further recon that the sisters dropping. Man, our sisters are dropping major way. Our brothers are dropping major way. The home team is dropping major way. This is Drop Nation. The drop is the water. The drop is the healing dew. The drop is the purified substance. The drop is you. You got the drop. You are Drop Nation. And they over there, playing over here, man, giving us a crater that's really supposed to be another world. And the question is, does that make us start looking at all these craters a little bit differently? And like a lot of family been digging on these moon craters, and like some of the family said, shout out to the bro Melvin Stevens. First time I heard this theory. He said, man, the craters are other worlds. And I said, bang. Are we just seeing the reflection through this plasma lens, right? This plasma lens, is it just reflecting more earth ponds that they're calling code word crater? And I said, well, what's a crater? Have y'all ever dug on what the definition of a crater is? And why are they passing off this earth pond as a crater, right? How did this become a crater, man? And does it make us look at craters a little bit differently? We're just talking about more worlds, y'all. We're just talking about more worlds beyond the pole. Look out for part 6. We're going to have it dropping. Thawada. There's more land beyond what we consider our north-south, America, right? We dug on this. Love to the bro, Aboriginal Hebrew, a.k.a. Guru Skywalker. He said, well, which way's north, drop? Because when you put north into etymology, etymana online, you get what? Left or below. Shout out to UB News. I know he covered a lot to do with orientation as well. Go support his channel, UB News. I think he got a new channel. So it's north left, according to the Hebrew orientation, according to the indigenous orientation, is north left, is south right. But north also seems to be south because they also have it as below. Is it left or below? Y'all help me, man. Oh, now we got hell. North is hell. Naraka. Uh-oh. Which way's north? Left? Below? Ain't this confusing with this forked tongue language we're in? This North and English, Old English. This is a spell we're under, people. If you don't see it by now, we're under a serious spell. But your awareness is breaking the spell, and we're asking the right question. Which way is north? Don't point up, fool. You only say that because you've been taught that since grade school. Empty your cup. Which way's north? North is below. North is below. It says compared with Benjamin. Or perhaps the notion is that the sun is at its lowest point when it's in the north. And I said, what does Benjamin mean? All right, you got the Old Testament, right? Proper name, Jacob's youngest son. We know that Benjamin. What does his name mean? Son of, right hand, son of, also south, south, south. Ah, man. All right. So is south also right? And north, left? We know they flipped the map upside down, so we know that literally what they call north is south. What would you call it? That's the question to get back in our, original mind. Because they said north. The same notion apparently underlies Tawath, the Irish Tawath, right? Remember Tuatha Danann? Left, northern, Shamal, left hand, north, compared with Benjamin, which we got south or right. Or perhaps the notion that the sun is at its lowest point when it's in the north. Okay. 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 Crater, right? What's a crater? Since we're looking up definitions and stuff. What's a crater? What is a crater? Do we live in a crater? Would the earth palm be considered a crater? Think about the ring of fire, right? All the volcanic activity, would you consider it a crater? Do we live in a crater? And that should have you ask the next great question. What's a crater? What's a crater, my people, my people? And when you see these maps, like they got it all mapped out, like the bro Melvin Stevens says, are we just looking at a map? Literally, you got the sea of serenity, sea of tranquility, sea of Christ. Are they just mapping out, more worlds beyond the pole? We'll get back on this, man. We're going to get back on this, man. We're just talking craters, right? And if they would look, man, if they would pass this off as a crater in 2016, and call it just an artist's interpretation. Like, oh, even though when we look at the ball earth, we know we're looking at artist interpretation, but they don't call it artist interpretation. But now that you're looking at the flat earth, so-called, they call it an artist interpretation. You see how that goes? Although it's the real deal, holy field. And they give you a little truth and they shroud it in a lie. They give you a little truth and they shroud it in a lie. But here's the truth. And here's the lie. And why would they call this a crater? And I'm asking, do we live in a crater? One of many craters. What's a crater? Let's go. Let's go back to etymline.com. Etymologies. Read it with me. A bowl-shaped mouth of a volcano. Large bowl. From which wet red wine mixed with water was served to guests from Cara. Uh-oh. Because you know we're going to the Cara Katais. We coming back out with that Presta John Fitty. From Cara to mix. Then it says confuse and cook. This almost sounds like the mixed multitude of Moshe. Presta John, we're talking to Cara, which only meant black. So Cara in Turkic means black. Now we're talking about to mix. We're just talking about a large bowl, though, right? Large bowl, right? A large bowl. A bowl-shaped mouth of a volcano. Do we live in a bowl-shaped mouth of a volcano? They're calling it a crater, right? Does it mean just one giant volcano, or are we just talking about a whole ring of fire? And if we're just talking about dinosaurs, are we really just talking about dragons? Dragons. Volcanoes and dragons, volcanoes and dragons. A whole pond. A whole volcanic pond, right? This whole thing is just one giant volcano. Now, they say that they're created by meteor impact, right? And look how they put this, fake stars and all this stuff. Oh, yeah, it's an artist's interpretation, all right. Meteor impact. What's a meteor? Oh, boy. Asteroid impact, right? Oh, it's popping off, man. I mean, you see the time right here, man. All right. They're over there popping off because they truly believe, or they just want to pop off, They think it's a new year, man. They think it's a new year. I'm right here in the wood, man. Shout out to Inglewood City. We over here sitting here, we chilling. AI to all the family in LA, South Central, Watts, Compton, man. Where you at, man? Long Beach, what it do, man? All the family, man. San Diego, what it do, man? Bakersfield, where you at? Oakland, Richmond, Ghost Town, what it do, man? Sac, man. What it do, Sac Town? I know, all my family that's tuning in, man. All across the planet. Texas, where you at? Detroit, I see you. Brooklyn, I know you in the house. Bronx, I know you in the house. I just appreciate y'all for digging on this, because you know what? We ain't over here doing some illusion and giving our energy, to something that is a fake excuse to party. Just give me an excuse to party. You could party next week, my naga, but everybody's doing it. I know everybody's doing it. I get it. Instead, we over here digging on it in real time, and you digging on it with me. That's why I wanted to do this for y'all, man, because you over here saying, man, let's go just dig on it tonight, man. How about that? Let's put our energy into something reality, not an artist interpretation. Let's dig on reality. So I said, man, let's connect some of the flat drop with the dragon drop, and what do we get? Let's connect the scripture. Let's connect the flat drop. Let's connect the dragon drop. Let's go. A crater. What's a crater? What's north, south, below? Bang. What's a crater? A bowl-shaped mouth of a volcano. Do we live in a crater? If they say that these things are caused by meteor impacts, asteroid meteor impact, then we have to go back and say what's a meteor, right? Any atmospheric phenomena. Oh, not just a big ball, a big rock. Any atmospheric phenomena. Any atmospheric phenomena. Well, that's wide open. That's wide open. What kind of atmospheric phenomena? Celestial phenomena. Things in heaven. Why are meteors compared to things in heaven? Just because it's outer space, or because it has to do with something in heaven? What's a crater in 1828? The aperture or mouth of a volcano. Constellation of the Southern Hemisphere said to contain 31 stars. Also interesting, right? We don't got nothing to do with no meteor impact on no moons or nothing. Crater does not mean that at all. It has everything to do with the mouth of a volcano. You say, well, we at one time thought that all the craters of the craters of the moon were volcanoes. This is what they say. They thought that all the craters of the moon were volcanoes, so they called them craters. That gives them a reason to call them craters, because they thought it had something to do with volcanoes. Well, you know what does have something to do with volcanoes? Dragons. You know what does have something to do with meteors? Knowing that volcanoes are nothing but dragon layers, volcanoes. What's a meteor? In a general sense, a body that flies or floats in the air. Flies or floats. That's a meteor? That don't sound like just some inanimate object. And in this sense, it includes rain, hail, snow, any atmospheric condition. Angels of the rain, angels of the frost, angels. But in a restricted sense, it is, which is commonly understood, a fiery, luminous body, or appearance flying or floating in the atmosphere in the more elevated region. Getting warmer. A meteor-like flame lawless through the sky. Getting warmer. Let's just get right to it. What's a dragon in 1828? Oh, a meteor. Bang. 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 Ping. Pow. Ping. Pow. Meteor. Asteroid. Asteroid meteor impact. Dragon impact. Volcanic pop off, dragon pop off. What do dragons have to do with the creation of these earth ponds? What do dragons have to do with the volcano or crater? Mouth of a volcano. Mouth of a volcano. Is this just one big old volcano? Dragon lair. Asteroid. Meteor impact. Celestial phenomena. Things in heaven. Things in heaven, huh? Dragon. Meteor. What does dragon have to do with heaven? My naga, what does the dragon got to do with you? Male or female, this man or woman is a dragon. What does dragon have to do? Oh, yeah. The crooked serpent, right? You know, when you get lost in translation, you could take this and say, oh, crooked serpent, he must be a bad boy. Or you could take it a step further and say, what's Leviathan in etymology? Right, sea monster, sea serpent, oh, giant sea fish. Right. Sometimes regarded as a form of Satan. Sometimes, yeah. Unknown origin, to twist, turn on the notion of a serpent's coils. The crooked serpent refers to the winding, turning, and twisting regarding the dragon's coils. To bend or twist, not the personality of Leviathan. Don't give him a bad name because you want to call him a crooked serpent. The crooked, the crooked, the crooked serpent is related to the winding, turning, and twisting of the dragon's coils. Leviathan. Meteor. We got luminous meteors, igneous, lightning, shooting stars. Star with a tail, star with a tail, star with a tail. Right, they got dracoid meteors when you look them up. Oh, Leviathan, the crooked serpent. You mean the winding, twisting, turning dragon. Let's go. So we can connect the meteor with the dragon very simply. But why heavenly? Why are meteors connected with the heavenly bodies? What's a seraph? So you can't be against dragons when you have the highest order of angel is a seraph. Are we talking Isaiah chapter 6? Probably the literal burning one. Huh. Fiery flying serpent. We talking dragons? Or are we talking angels of the highest order? If you don't understand why we talk dragons, why we talk angels of the highest order, why we talk you, fire, water, ether, earth, the elements, platonic solids, all dragon, All frequency, whether you talk chakra or kundalini, energy, frequency, vibration, is the Drakan, the Drakan, the Khan, the priesthood. The foreigners were against your dragons. The invader is in your mind that puts you against the dragon in Revelation. When in Revelation, that dragon is just devouring this Christ child, which is Jupiter, which is Abaddon or Apollyon, who is raised up to rule with the rod of iron. We're just talking iron sulfate. We're just talking mercury. Because if you talk Zeus, you talk Zeus. Who's the son of Zeus? Go. Mercury. Who's the son of Zeus? Go. Apollyon. Apollo. Abaddon. What else is Abaddon? Abaddon is a place. Atlantis. Abaddon is Atlantis. It means destruction, a place of ruin. Is Atlantis. Abaddon, Apollyon is Atlantis. The god of Atlantis is Apollo, son of Zeus. Who else is the son of Zeus? Mercury, Thoth, Tahuti, Hermes, Trigonomegestes, 3 times great. Do you see the trickery? Because Mercury sure is a trickster. They got you against dragons for real, for real. They got you against the seraph, the angels of the highest order. We're talking order over chaos. I'm talking seraphim. We're talking seraphim. Fiery flying serpents. Remember Numbers 21? When the Most High sent the fiery flying serpents on Israel because they was talking greasy? And then they begged Moshe to get them dragons off of them. They ain't talking about snakes in the garden. We're talking dragons. We're not saying snakes on fire flew down from the sky. We're saying fire-breathing dragons will either curse you or be a blessing to you. If you're out of order, then you're out of order, period. You're out of order with the creator. You're out of order with his dragons. It's like you got a pit bull and somebody comes at you sideways. That pit bull might attack you. Same thing with the creator. You come at the creator sideways, them dragons are going to attack you. If you rocking with homie with the pit bull, then that pit bull will be friendly to you and protect you too. Same thing as the dragons or the seraph or the burning ones. Seraph. Hebrew plural is seraphim. An angel, the highest order. Dragons are angels. Dragons are dinosaurs. Dragons are meteors. Comets, cometas, dragons. According to this great recon, Meteor Belief Project, dragons as meteor or comets in Russian folklore by Elizabeth A. Warner, putting together an investigation presented into the connections in Russian folk beliefs between meteors, comets, which are not always clearly distinguished from meteors and such beliefs, and dragons. Somebody else been digging on this. The connection between meteors and dragons, comets and dragons. In the dictionary, however, star with a tail is referred to as an omen of war. Oh, the red omen. Remember Game of Thrones? Nah, boy. That red comet mean one thing. Dragons. That omen means one thing. Dragons, boy. Because according to Elizabeth A. Warner, meteors may thus be aqueous, igneous, aerial, or luminous. Igneous meteors, according to the Russian Dahl's Dictionary, Vladimir Dahl, Etymological Dictionary of the Great Russian Language in 1955, one of the most authoritative dictionaries of the 19th century, people, contains the generalized definition of meteor as any atmospheric phenomenon. That's what we got, right? The definition of comet in Dahl's Dictionary is a heavenly body Why heavenly body? Because you're talking seraphim. You're talking the orders of the angels. In comparison to others, is of huge mass. Those sparse, nebulous, transparent, sometimes it may be seen to have a nucleus, while the surrounding area forms something like a tail, beard, or tangled locks. A star with a tail. This is 1955. Most authoritative sources. The word cometa was barely even being used. Matter of fact, according to the Shrezhnevsky's Dictionary of Old Russian, which covers usage in the medieval period, it has no entries for meteor or comet. As such, does have one for star with a tail. So whether you're talking about Shrevnevsky's Old Dictionary of Old Russian or Vladimir Dahl's Etymological Dictionary of the Great Russian Language in 1955, none of them have entries for comets, only star with a tail. What? Star with a tail? Yeah, man, star with a tail. Beard or tangled dreadlocks, man. Dreadlocks, man. Dreadlocks, man. Your dragon's got locks. Star with a tail. This is a meteor. This is a comet. This is a dragon. Star with a tail, beard, or tangled dreadlocks. A star with a tail. This is in the 1955 Russian Etymological Dictionary, man. Star with a tail, beard, or tangled locks. Star with a tail. No comet, no meteor, no comet, no meteor. Star with a tail, beard, tangled locks. Star with a tail, beard, tangled locks. What's a seraph? Angel of the highest order. The burning one. From seraph, it burned. What's it got to do with a fire-breathing dragon? Seraphs were traditionally regarded as burning or flaming angels. Flaming or burning angels. Flaming angels. The flaming sword, right? Though the word seems to have some etymological sense of flying. Flying, flaming angels. We're just talking about a man with wings, or we're talking about a dragon. Use your senses. Because they changed it to dinosaurs for a reason, people. If dragons didn't exist, they wouldn't have had to change it to dinos in 1841. The question is, what did they call these dinos before 1841? What were dinosaurs called in 1831? What were dinosaurs called in 1731? You guessed it, dragons. Some flying dragons, some land dragons, some marine water dragons, igneous dragons. Same thing as the meteor. So seraph in the scripture, right? We're just talking about Isaiah 6. Let's get it. Oh, wow. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw Watah sitting upon a throne high and lifted up. His train filled the temple. Now, many translations say his train of his robe, right? Or we're just talking about the train of his, I don't know, dragon tail, you know. Psalms 18, smoke out of my nose, fire out of his mouth. Fire out of his mouth is the free Dawid. Above him stood the seraphim. Each one had 6 wings, right? The fiery burning ones, right? We just got that. We're just talking about the flaming angels, the flying flaming angels. We're going to see some footage of these, flames popping off in the sky, and I want you to see it with a dragonfly perspective. Fiery flying dragon, Seraph. How many wings does this dragon have? The highest order of an angel of the highest order. Isaiah 6, verse 1. So again, train of his robe, train of something else, filled the temple. Above him stood the seraphim. Each one had 6 wings. 6 wings. With 2 he covered his face, 2 he covered his feet, and 2 he did fly. And one called to another and said, Holy, 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 Hawah of hosts, the whole earth is full of his glory. So they sang praises to the Most High. These dragons with 6 wings, these fiery flying dragons, because they did fly with their 6 wings. And don't tell me they're not fiery, because the definition of a seraphim in etymology is the burning ones. The fiery flying serpent, the fiery flying dragon. So these fiery flying dragons are in Isaiah 6, praising the Most High. How did this turn into Revelations, bad dragon, bad dragon? How did Leviathan turn into bad dragon, when he's Hawah's plaything? Leviathan is Hawah's dragon. Now he's sometimes regarded as Satan. Who's twisting up our script? Who's twisting up our information? Who's trying to put us against our guardians, our angels? Angels of the highest order. Angels that are singing praise to Hawah that have not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 wings. Flying, fiery dragons. And this just shows how special King David is. The reason why Hosea 3 and 5 says, search for the Creator, seek the Creator and David. Why Psalms 110 ain't about Jesus making the enemies of Jesus his footstool. Jesus never went to war. There's no example of him having any enemies made his footstool. He never, fought in no battles for Israel. He never brought Israel nowhere, not to no land, no nothing. But David, though, had a special relationship with Hawah that's documented. And when David was in distress, he sung these words of his song. For the day that Hawah had delivered him from the hands of all his enemies. Don't you got all your enemies you need to be delivered from? And from the hand of Saul. And he said, I love you, Hawah, my strength. Hawah is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer. Did the Most High deliver Jesus? I don't think so. Oh, no, he was just sacrificed? Oh, okay. Weren't we sacrificed? Weren't we crucified? But we were also delivered. Hawah is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer. My power, my rock. In him I take refuge. My shield and my horn of salvation. My high tower. Praised I cry is Hawah. And I am saved from my enemies. The cord of death compassed me, and the floods of Belial assailed me. The cords of Sheol surrounded me. The snares of death confronted me. In my distress, I called upon Hawa and cried unto my power. Out of his temple he heard my voice, and my cry came before him into his ears. Is it literal or metaphysical, or does the Creator have ears in this depiction in Psalms 18? All right, just put it to the side. Creator got ears. Then the earth did shake and quake. The foundations also, the mountain did tremble. They were shaking because he was wroth. Oh, the Creator heard David, right, with his ears. Smoke arose from his nostrils. Whoa. Now go somewhere else other than 2 Samuel, where this is also being kicked, in the same way. But find me another example other than this and in 2 Samuel, where you see that the Creator is described as having ears, nostrils. What else? Smoke arose up in his nostrils. Fire out of his mouth did devour. Coals flamed forth from him. Coals, burning fire, flamed out of his mouth. Show me another example where you got the Creator being described as having ears, a nose, a mouth, and out of that mouth comes flames, and out of his nostrils comes smoke. He bowed the heavens also and came down, and thick darkness was under his feet. This is the most descriptive breakdown of any particular form or shape that the framer and shaper choose to take. Your framer, your shaper, your Creator can take any shape. So don't go crazy. Oh, it looks like they're in dragon form. Yeah. I mean, if you were going to war, you might be in dragon form with your protective armor, your scales, and your fire. Those are great weapons. Dragons are polymorphic. They can turn into humans. They can turn into a butterfly or a dragonfly. If you really know your platonic solids, love to the Templar. So don't go crazy about the dragon form. I mean, what battle form would you choose? If you could be you right now and then say, all right, man, we're about to go to war, would you stay you, or would you suit up and put on your shield? If you can be in dragon body, would you be in dragon body to mow down the hijack for freedom? For freedom, my naga? Or would you say, nope, just give me my AK-47? Would you rather an AK-47 or a fire-breathing dragon? I'll wait. So my naga, I ain't going crazy when I say, what's the solution? What's been the solution? What was the solution here? What's the solution to your problems, to your distress? What was the solution to David's problems when he was surrounded by his enemies? He had to be delivered from all his enemies. You got to be delivered from all your enemies. Why do you seek the Creator and David? Because it wakes your ass up to how you zon up out of the captivity of the hijack. By reconnecting with your Creator, the earth shakes. The foundations of the mountain tremble. We're just talking about the trees. They were shaking because he was wroth. And what happened? This happened for David. And you tell me who else it happened for? Who else do we have documented that the Creator personally, that Hawa personally came down in battle dragon form to free him and mow down his enemies, to make his enemies his footstool? Oh yeah. I have pursued my enemies and overtaken them. Why? Because Thawada came down and mowed them down. Neither did I turn back till they were consumed. That's what we're talking about, right? That's freedom, right? I have smitten them through so that they are not able to rise. That's what we're talking about, right? They are fallen under my feet. Psalms 110. Your Lord said to my Lord, get at my right hand while I make your enemies my footstool. Your footstool. They are fallen under my feet. Psalms 110 is about David and this particular battle, this particular war. Because Thawada has girded me with the strength unto battle. Your priest kings are battle tested. They don't come in no hijack reflections talking about turn the other cheek. That's an excellent new tune, they say, right? That's a brand new tune for us. What would the hijack be more afraid of? Jesus going to war with Jesus or going to war with Dawid? Because Dawid commands the dragons, not just any dragon. Dawid rocks with the creator personally. That's a whole nother level. He got command of all these dragons. Prester John got command of all these dragons, but even more so, Thawada rocks with Priest King Dawid personally. The Grand Khan personally. The Grand Khan personally, man. Love to Sister Sonia again, man, for this incredible shot here. Love to the brother Sibs on Insta, on IG, man, who provided us with great filters along the way in our investigation. And Sister Sonia dropped this, and we're gonna cut this open for the Prester John investigation. But oh boy, does it drop on Prester John. Oh boy, does it drop on Prester John. The Mongol Empire and the legend of Genghis Khan, who becomes Prester John. Let's go to it. King David of Israel is equated to the Grand Khan. Now, this is what we've been digging on, right? Grand Khan is the great priest, is the priest king, is the Prester John of the Indies, who moves to Ethiopia. Which one? King David of Israel. King David is the great Grand Khan that Columbus was looking for when he was looking for the Grand Khan, talking about, I have some letters from the Pope to give to the Grand Khan and some whatever with China, and we connected all that with India Superior and Prester John. We got a map from the British Museum, literally says Prester John over the four corners, right where what? Grand Canyon, Grand Canyon, Grand Canyon, Grand Canyon, Great Canyon, Grand Canyon, Khan. What does the Grand Canyon have to do with the Great Khan, King David? And this one specifically to Prester John of the Indies. The Great Khan controls the dragons. King David of Israel controls the dragons. Stars with a tail, bearded with tangled locks. What's a seraph? An angel of the highest order? Gotcha. We're only talking the burning ones. Lofty, right? Heavenly, flying, fiery, flying dragon. Let's keep going. So, when David is calling out, in my distress, I called upon Watah. He didn't call to no one else, right? He didn't go nowhere else, right? And cried into my power. out of his temple. So just imagine this dragon form energy in its temple. He heard my voice, and my cry came before him into his ears. The earth did shake and quake. Foundations of the mountains, the trees trembled. They were shaking because he was pissed off. And out came smoke from his nostrils, and fire out of his mouth did devour. He bowed the heavens also, came down. The thickness of darkness was under his feet. He rode upon a cherub and did fly. Oh, yeah, he did swoop down upon the wings of the wind. Smoke out of his nostrils, fire out of his mouth. He did devour. And now they put it right in our face in the Children's Museum. Draco Rex. What he's talking, fiery flying dragons. Fiery flying dragons. Let's go. So when we talk craters, and we just talk volcanic, let's get that again. A bowl-shaped mouth of a volcano. I want you just to compare the volcano with what we know in our connection, in our investigation with volcanoes and dragons, okay? Just surf the wave with me. We're just talking about dragon layers. We're just talking about the Karakatai. The Karakatai is led by who? Hold on. Where's it at? Where's he at? The Karakatai is led by who? Wang Khan, Prester John, the Great Khan. The Karakatai is led by the Great Khan, Prester John. The Kara, talking about a mixed multitude. Now they're confusing us. They got the Khans confused. They're confusing the Khan. What mixed multitude? What Kara? What large bowl? What does that got to do with the volcano? Because a crater is just a large bowl. Volcanic bowl. A large volcanic bowl. Now they just want to just pass it off. Hey, man. We got a crater. Has to do with some dinosaur extinction. Dinosaur wasn't used before 1841. Oh, dragons. Dragons. This got to do with dragons. This crater. This large volcanic bowl has to do with dragons. Has everything to do with dragons. This large volcanic bowl has everything to do with dragons. So a guy that's looking at the moon craters a little differently. Are these just reflections of more earth ponds? Is this just a mapped out area? You know, now that we know what they can do to our craters, right? And now that we know that they could take the earth, the actual earth pond, right? A earth pond, and turn it into this. Then we definitely know they can take this and turn it into this. Whether they turn it into this or whether they turn it into this, we're still talking this. Is this 1972 shot copying this 2016 artist's impression? Did they take this from 2016 and say, let's hoax that this is a 1972 shot? Then why are they blotting out and blurring shit out? Huh? They didn't do that here. I don't see no blotted out shit. I don't see no blotted out shit. You know what I mean? So clearly, there has to be something different. Yeah, we're gonna be back in part 6. You know, we got a lot more to dig on with this drop right here, man. Um, a lot of y'all asked about the clouds, and I asked the same thing. I said these must be some big ass clouds to cover up a big old continent. Some say, well, maybe this is a smaller Earth pond with A would be covered up by a big cloud, or maybe these are just some big ass clouds, and this is how this Earth pond rocks. With when it's cloudy, it's cloudy. You know what I mean? When there's clouds, there's hella cloud. Who knows, man? Who knows? I just know that this ain't no crater. So why they trying to make it a crater? Why they trying to make these craters? And look how they mapping them out. Are they just mapping out more Earth ponds? Are they just mapping out more Earth ponds right in our face? Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. What you gotta say? What you gotta say? What you gotta say? Crater? 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 Crater. Come on, man. What's a crater again, man? It's just a large bowl. A bowl-shaped mouth of a volcano. What does that got to do with the moon if it's just some dead rock? If the moon has volcanic activity popping off, it's not a dead rock, right? It's very much alive. That makes more sense to this crater, this mouth of the volcano. This is very much alive. We got volcanoes popping off all day, every day. Ring of fire, right? The ring of fire, man. The ring of fire. The ring of fire. Bowl-shaped mouth of a volcano is a crater, is the ring of fire. Meteor impact, dragon impact, smoke out of his nose, fire out of his mouth. The ring of fire, also referred to as the circum like circular belt. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Belt. Belt. Circular belt. A circular belt. Ring of fire. Crater. Bowl-shaped mouth of a volcano. Question. Would the bowl-shaped mouth of a volcano consist of a ring of fire? The ring of fire, circum Pacific belt is a path along the Pacific Ocean characterized by active volcanoes, frequent earthquakes. I made the earthquake. Shook the foundations of the mountains, huh? Now, this is where they say the ring of fire is. Let's check it out. Let's see. the whole Pacific Rim, they say. So this is their projection. This is their Mercator projection. Now, what would this look like on the flat Earth map? What would this look like on the flat Earth map, man? I don't know if it's out there somewhere, but that's a very interesting thing. We got volcanoes all along this belt, right? All along Asia, all the way down. I mean, this is a huge ring of fire. Then you got them all over here. You still see volcanoes everywhere, man. We're just talking about the mouth of a huge volcano. Ring of fire. Okay. Is the ring of fire the mouth of a volcano? Is the ring of fire a crater? Bowl-shaped mouth of a volcano. We're going to dig on some Australia drop for the dismount, man. Very interesting stuff going on in Australia. Very interesting things. Very interesting times, man. I mean, they say it's 2020, man, so make sure you see 2020. Matter of fact, make sure you got the 360-degree dragonfly perspective. We're just talking about the ring of fire. You better have your dragon perspective on. Circum-Pacific belt. All right. Long horseshoe-shaped, seismically active belt earthquake. Tectonic plate boundaries. Boundaries. I'm just looking at the keywords that fringes the Pacific Basin. So what they call the ring of fire, is it the complete ring of fire? And what would that look like on the flat earth map? You know, that's interesting. I'm just saying, when they say crater, it's the bowl-shaped mouth of a volcano. Large bowl from which red wine mixes with water. So they're mimicking this fiery situation, this volcanic ash, this red wine now mixed with the water, right? What else is that reminds you of? When they say like crater, they got the water mixed with this volcanic bowl of mouth of a volcano mixed with water. Or we just got more earth ponds being disguised as craters, which got us looking at even the moon craters a lot different. And we saw this image and said, whoa. It looks like another earth pond. And again, you see how small these circles are? So some earth ponds are small, some are bigger. The question is, are these all mouths of giant volcanoes, giant magnetism popping up? And do we live in one? And is this another, and another, and another, and another? We're just talking more worlds. More worlds beyond the pole. Now we need to go back to the book of Enoch, correlate that, and, you know, I'm just connecting some of the flat trout we've been digging on with what we digging on. You know what I mean? What are we digging on? What boundaries? What borders? When we talk ring of fire, what boundaries? What circumcircular belt? Why do they call these craters on a dormant rock? How is this the bowl-shaped mouth of a volcano? On the moon. Their story is that the moon is being impacted by meteors or dragons. Do you see the flip? Do you see the duality? Do you see the thoughthism? It's definitely got to do with dragons, but they're not telling you that dragons are meteors. And the ring of fire has everything to do with dragons and dragon lairs, dinosaurs. They put the dinosaurs 64 million years ago. Well, that's back to the dang near beginning of time, right? As far as you're concerned. Don't they put the dragons or the angels back that far as well? So they all go back far, whether you're talking dragons or dinosaurs, you're talking creation. And we know dinosaur wasn't used until 1841. So you're only talking dragon. You're only talking fire. You're only talking seraphim, fiery ones. You're only talking Isaiah 6 wings. You're talking circular rings of fire, volcanic rings. We're talking meteor impacts. They say they're caused by meteor asteroid impacts. But a meteor is just a star with a tail, with a beard and tangled locks. So you're telling me a star with a tail, with a beard and tangled locks did this? Was this formed by an asteroid meteor impact? Or are we saying in code word that this star with a tail or dragon lives here? That it has everything to do with the volcanic, ring of fire and the dragon layers, and that this is not the moon. According to our reconners, this is just pretty much a map of the Earth plane, a map of more worlds. Some are smaller, right? Which is got us back to this picture we said. Maybe this is a smaller pond. And, a big cloud can cover these little areas. Maybe. Maybe it's just one of these small guys. Maybe it's like a little guy like that. Maybe it's just a little guy. Is the moon plasma reflecting more worlds beyond the pole? It makes you look at craters a lot different. Because again, look at this. Look like they trying to block something else out. Oh shit. Why they blocking though? Yeah, man. If they will do this, if they'll do this, if they'll make believe this is a crater but call it an artist's impression. So they're saying, oh, it's just a fake photo, a fake drawing of what the impact crater would have been during the dinosaur extinction event with the super asteroid meteor star with a tail beard with dreadlocks. What does the star with a tail and dreadlocks have to do with your meteor? You're just talking about a ring of fire. What's the real ring of fire? Are we just using code words to describe a crater or bowl-shaped mouth of a volcano? Bowl-shaped mouth of a dragon lair. What dragon lives here? Bowl-shaped mouth of a dragon lair. How many? How many worlds beyond the pole? Oh, they go deep, right? Why so many craters on the moon? Why so many worlds beyond the pole? It's the same question. Why so many craters? Wow, they messing with these images, man. Big time. But at least we can have a perspective, right? Why so many craters? Why so many worlds beyond the pole? Don't this look a lot like the moon? Craters are what? Volcanic mouths of the volcano. Ring of fire. Boundaries. Volcanoes, mouths of volcanoes, craters, right, are associated with the belt throughout its length. So that's why I say it's a ring of fire. You're just saying it's the frame of a belt. Y'all want to see a joke? How fake does this look? How fake does this shit look now? Dragons, volcanoes, ring of fire. All right, let's get a couple things. Let's get a couple goodies, man. I mean, since y'all up here, man, bringing in this 2020, let's just bring it all in there. Put this over here. There we go. It's a couple quick links to do some connections, dragons or dinosaurs, right? We're going to get this little drop. Why does the Bible talk about dragons so much? Dwindling in Unbelief. Blogspot. There's a new book about dragons called Dinosaurs or Dragons or Dinosaurs by Derek Isaacs. It turns out that the dragons that are so often mentioned in the Bible are real. It turns out that dragons are real. Here's what Mr. Isaacs says about them. The Old Testament scribes wrote that they saw creatures prowling, hissing, swimming, and even breathing fire. I will shine a spotlight for all those to see that the Bible speaks of dragons as real. Oh, because what is harder to believe? That dragons are real, or Jesus Christ is the author of life and the savior of all humanity? What's harder to believe? That dragons are real, or Jesus? To help you with your decision about dragons and Jesus, here's a list of the verses in the King James Version that mention it. You got the drop. Some of these we dug on. Some of these, you go ahead and make it happen. This just lets you know. I will make Jerusalem heaps and a den of dragons. Now, a lot of times in Jeremiah 9, some translations say jackal, right? Let me just see. I was digging on a little bit of draconology, man, with the tribe. Make sure you're tuning into that draconology at 432thedrop.com. Download the app every Tuesday, 9 o'clock Pacific. Right after my bro, I don't know what Nick be on, because Nick be on. He comes in at 8 o'clock with that choosing immunity every Tuesday. Right after that, Templar Irvin Reed, 7 o'clock Pacific. We Templaring up with Irvin Reed. Right after that, KB, the hijacker Cezanne. We got the Red Chill Pill Lounge popping off at 6 Pacific. That's our Tuesday flow. Right after Draconology, we have Kalelus. We dig on different books, digging on Kalelus by Cyclone Covey and others. So we dig on it every day, man. Every day is a revolving classroom of the Drop Nation. And we got about 20 Ether Squad members, man, that are rocking the waves. So make sure you become a Dragon sponsor on the wall so we can ether up together and support the tribe. Hit up 432thedrop.com and click on Dragon Sponsors and see how you can support our revolving classroom. Everybody gets, broken off an equal share of the sponsorship. So make sure you, support that so that we can all tribe up together and see the tribe being, truly rewarded, man, for the energy that they've been putting in on a daily basis for the squad, for the tribe. Become a Dragon sponsor on the wall. Copper Dragon, Silver Dragon, Gold. Because that's all we're talking about. Fire out of his mouth, smoke out of his nose. Now, what that scripture just say with Jeremiah 9:11, it says, I will make Jerusalem heaps and a den of dragons. Interesting, right? So we're in Jeremiah 9:11. Pull it up. What does it say in the JPS tonight? 1917. All right, this is on verse 10. It says, I will make Jerusalem heaps, a lair of jackals. Uh-oh. 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 Now, remember that jackals goes back to that Tan and Tannin situation, right? You got the Hebrew noun Tan, and you got the Tannin. So we're seeing how they're using jackals interchangeably with dragons. Let's catch them slipping right quick. Let's go one more over to 11. Sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 11. All right, here we go. So let's rock it with the strongs and coordinates and see what we got when we get to jackals, all right? Or we talking dragon now? Let's catch them slipping right quick. Let's catch them slipping right quick. If you don't go the extra mile, you ain't gonna get the drop. Oh boy, we're talking dragon or what? Dinosaur. Oh man, let's catch them slipping right quick. Let's catch them slipping right quick. Sea or river monster. Now we're in the sea or the river. Now we're talking a leviathan. A den of leviathans. Serpent or venomous snake. My naga, they're giving you all the game of how they switch up your dragon into a snake, right? Fiery flying serpents or snakes. Fiery flying serpent, they say, or venomous snakes. And we read it right off the page. See, Hawa got these venomous snakes, and these are the type of snakes that will bite you. No, my naga, they're talking dragon. We're talking dragon. No, we're not talking jackal. We're talking Tannin. Tannin. Now check it. Let's let's see the correction here. You see, they make these very close, right? They say tannin, right? So the plural of tan would be the jackal or the fox or the dog. Therefore, it should become habitations of dragons. Why? How did it get flipped to dragons when we're just talking tan? Because dragon is tannin. T-I. Look how close and slippery this is, man. Dragon, just follow me now. Dragon, singular form is tannin with an N, Tannin. That's singular. If you want to describe multiple dragons, you would say tannanim and put the M at the end. If you want to talk about the jackals, you would say tan. And then if you want to talk about plural jackals or plural dogs, you would say tanim and put the M. That M is the big difference. Because they just slide it in the translator to say, yeah, tanim. They don't make the differentiation between tannanim and tannin with an N, not the M. N, not the M. N, not the M. A habitation of dragons. A habitation of dragons, of water, the haunt of dragons. Whoa, a habitation of dragons, of water, the haunt of dragons. That's why we're just talking about sea monsters, leviathans. Look at all the drag and drop in your script once you decode it. A den of jackals? No, a den of dragons. Dwelling of jackals? No, dwelling of dragons. We're talking Tannin. Oh, the Lord, right? The Lord. We're just talking about Hawa. So the Tannin refers to the jackals. Tannin or Tannin refers to the dragons. Let's all right, so here's Tannin with an N. Serpent, dragon, sea monster, right? You don't got no jackal drop unless they slide it in later. From the same as Tan, I think not. Because Tan is the what? Tan is the jackal. This is what they're hiding in the script. So when they're referring to the doghead cephali, cynocephali, doghead jackals, it's just Tan. Or plural is Tannim with an M. When we're talking about dragons or the sea monster Leviathan, you're talking Tannin. That's the singular of dragon. Tannin. Tannin. And the plural is Tannanim. And look what pops up. Moby Dick pops up. The whales. Jonah and the whale, right? You got Jonah and the whale. You got this Moby Dick and the whale. And all that has to do with Tannin or dragons. It's Jonah and the dragon, not Jonah and the whale. But if they didn't exist, what's this all about? And why are they now calling dinosaurs dinosaurs since 1841? Let's go. Oh, we're just back in Psalms 18, right? Smoke poured out of his nostrils. This is our theologyofwork.org. Psalms 18 celebrates Hawa's deliverance of David from danger and distress. The ropes of death entangle me, he writes. Floods of destruction swept over me. Yet as David cried out to Hawa, Hawa heard him and came to deliver. Listen up. The prose version of what happened next would really unimaginatively, would read unimaginatively, the Lord rescued David from his enemies and kept him safe. But the Psalms are poetry, not prose. Psalms 18 delivers not just the facts, but rather a vivid picture of Hawa's coming in awesome power to deliver David. And this awesome power, this portrayal utilizes a variety of stirring images, including mighty earthquakes, spectacular thunderstorm. In verse 8, the creator is pictured as a sort of dragon. So we're not going crazy when we read Psalms 18. Oh, you got feet, you got ears, you got a mouth, you got nostrils, you're flying on the wings of the wind. You're saving David and his tribe. He didn't just pluck out David, he saved Israel. What's the plan? What's the battle plan? Drop Psalms 18. How are we going to get our freedom? Drop Psalms 18. If you want to believe in something, believe that the creator does come in battle for him. And the creator got infinite dragons. And we're going to get some great drop next about some, very interesting visuals of infinite dragons. In verse 8, Hawa is pictured as a sort of dragon. Smoke poured from his nostrils. Fierce flames leap from his mouth. Glowing coals blaze forth from him. Oh boy. Why does the Bible talk about dragons? Meteors? What are craters? Lego. Oh, come on, come on.
And we want to welcome Derek Isaac to the program. Derek, thanks so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You are the author of the book, Dragons or Dinosaurs, Creation or Evolution. Paul, would you model that for us? Wow, very good job modeling. We love this book because it really covers the subject so well. Can you give us a little history about yourself and tell us why you wrote the book?
Well, why I wrote it is very simple, is that the Bible speaks about dragons. And our authority, everything that we do, we have to measure by the Word of God. That's what I believe. And so we have to go to the Bible, and the Bible speaks about dragons. It speaks about dragons in the Old Covenant scriptures. You know something? It speaks about dragons in the New Testament. If you look at the book of Revelation, Satan is compared to a dragon over and over again. Like 13 times in the book of Revelations, dragon is used, and it's either referring to Satan or some kind of evil. Now, what's fascinating is throughout history, on every continent and all these historical works, we see dragons are portrayed as lethal predators. All right, there's these big, giant, scaled reptiles that are they're just lethal, and they will kill you. They kill livestock. They are really the apex of apex predators. And here we have in Revelations God explaining to us, using a dragon as the imagery of saying, Satan is like a dragon. And so he's comparing the predator to us, Satan, as a dragon. And he uses that imagery because the people, 2,000 years ago would have understood the lethality that came with dragons. They understood that image. They understood how dangerous they were. And they were mortal enemies to just about everything.
So you're telling me you think the dragons that are talked about in Revelation aren't just mythical, aren't just figurative speech? It's a real animal.
Well, here's the issue on that, speaking directly to that. It's a great question. Is if dragons, in fact, were entirely mythological, if they were a figment of imagination, if they never ever did exist, then God just compared our adversary to a make-believe creature that never existed.
Bang! Ping, pow, pow, ping. I'm out of here. Hey, man, you trying to say that dragons are real after all he broke down? Man, you trying to say dragons are real, man? One more time.
Satan is compared to a dragon over and over again. Like 13 times in the book of Revelations, dragon is used, and it's either referring to Satan or some kind of evil. Now, what's fascinating is throughout history, on every continent and all these historical works, we see dragons are portrayed as lethal predators. All right, there's these big, giant, scaled reptiles that are they're just lethal, and they will kill you. They kill livestock. They are really the apex of apex predators. And here we have in Revelations God explaining to us, using a dragon as the imagery of saying, Satan is like a dragon. And so he's comparing the predator to us, Satan, as a dragon. And he
Hey, man, you think dragons are real, man?
uses that imagery because the people, 2,000 years ago would have understood the lethality that came with dragons. They understood.
So he's saying that Satan was compared to a dragon, not that, the only, Satan form must be a dragon. He's saying it's compared to the lethality of a dragon. Remember, Job, is breaking down the enormity of Leviathan and how no one else can control it but the Creator. Again, did Leviathan sink Atlantis, man? Did Leviathan sink Atlantis? We're talking about these fiery burning islands, right? Rings of fire. How lethal is one dragon? So when you talk about, to the hijack perspective, something that is wicked to them, something that is evil to the evil, something that would be the devil to the devil, the adversary to the adversary, yeah, it's a motherfucking dragon. The dragon is the adversary to the adversary. But who's the adversary to the dragon? The same adversary to you, to the Naga. Hey, man, you think dragons are real, man?
understood that image. They understood how dangerous they were, and they were just they're mortal enemies to just about everything.
So you're telling me you think the
They were mortal enemies to everything? Nah, they were adversaries to the adversary.
Mortal enemies to just about everything.
Just about every adversary. Hey, man, do you think dragons are real, man?
So you're telling me you think the dragons that are talked about in Revelation aren't just mythical, aren't just figurative speech? It's a real animal.
Well, here's the issue on that. Speaking directly to that, it's a great question. Is if dragons in fact were entirely mythological, if they were a figment of imagination, and if they never ever did exist, then God just compared our adversary to a make-believe creature that never existed.
Ping, pow. Moving on, man. Dead that. Hey, man, shout out to Rap the News, man, who dropped this in, I think, 2018. So I want to revisit this because the bro Carrie Mayo just dropped it on me, man. So, he be surfing the wave. He say, man, dig on this drop. So love to the bro Carrie Mayo. Let's dig on what Rap the News had to say about this apparent footage of billions of angels on their way. And knowing that angels are dragons. Seraph, right? The angel of the highest order, Seraph, 6-winged, fiery ones. Crater, fiery volcano, bowl-shaped mouth of a volcano. Meteor, any atmospheric phenomenon. Of course, it has to do with the heavens, raising and lifting, fireball in the sky. Or are we just talking about a star with a tail, bearded with tangled locks? Seraph. Go. We got that as Isaiah 6. We're just talking about the burning ones. Flaming angels. Fiery flying dragons. Dinosaurs. Dragons. All right, Rap the News. We're talking angels. Angels of the highest order. Seraph. Fiery flying dragons. Angels of the highest order. Angels. Fiery flying dragons. Seraph. Let's go.
This is Rap the News, and this is Gina Marie Calvin Hill, my friends. And what she does is she gets out bright and early in the morning, and she gets her camera to the sky, and she captures these. I believe them to be angels. I believe if somebody was going to doctor something, they wouldn't go to these extremes to do it, and neither would they capture something like this. It will be more defined and there wouldn't be so many. You know what I mean? She also captures space objects out there like this and so on and so forth. But today we're going to do something with this, because...
Whoa. Do y'all see what I see? There's a reason why he's calling these angels. Every one of them appears to have wings. Do y'all want to see dragons fly at supersonic speed?
My mind is saying, looking at these things, they appear to be flying. They're not spaceship, not spacecraft, not space debris, or space dust. These are angels of light, and they look to be flying, so I put it together like this. Look at that. So you can go through each picture, and you can spot these little pictures right inside of that. And it's flying, man. Some of them look like they have more than...
Well, what he's about to say? What he about to say? I mean, what do y'all see? I want to know what y'all see. We're just talking angels, man. Come on, you talking about men with wings? Sisters with wings? Or fiery flying dragons?
And it's flying, man. Some of them look like they have more than 2 wings, but
Stop it. Stop it, man.
flying, man. Some of them look like they have more than 2 wings. Some of them look like they have more than 2 wings, but
I'm out of here, baby. I'm out of here, baby. Some look like they got more than 2 wings. Seraphim. Seraphim. Tannin. Dragon. Thawada. And it's interesting because according to this, it has one occurrence, at least. Then it has Seraph, 3 more occurrences. Some additional entries that might connect. And above him were seraphim, each with 6 wings. 2 they covered their face, their feet, and 2 they flew, singing, Holy, holy, holy to Hawa Almighty. The whole earth is full of glory. And their sound of their voices, at the sound of their voices, the doorposts and thresholds shook, and the temple was filled with smoke. Then one seraphim flew to me with a live coal in his hand. And we said, man, one translation said it called it a stone. Let's see if we can get that. Let me get back to that JPS tonight. Stones. We're talking stones. We're talking dragons and stones, man. We're talking infinity stones. Look at this. Then flew unto me one of the seraphim, one of these high orders of angels, high orders, the highest orders of this dragon flow. Now, before it said with a burning coal, now it says with a glowing stone. I can't make this stuff up, man. Now we dig on our stones, and you're in a whole nother world. That's much different than a coal, a burning coal. A glowing stone opens way more up than burning coal. Now we see how stone and coal is being interchanged. But this seraph that has 6 wings, angel of the highest order that has 6 wings, you got a problem with the dragon, the glow, the highest order of angel, the fire, the water, the ether, the earth. You got a problem with Hawa coming down in battle form with smoke out of his nose and fire out of his mouth? You're going to say, oh no, evil dragon. He's burning down the hijack. He'll burn your ass down if you hijack. He'll send them fiery flying dragons on you if you're hijacked. That's why they got to create all their synthetic robots and, synthetic robot flying machines, because they're just trying to mimic the dragon's power and movement, but they can't mimic the awesome power of Hawa's dragons, man. Hawa's dragons have awesome power that they cannot duplicate. And they also have glowing stones, which he had taken from with the tongs from the altar, and he touched my mouth with it and said, lo, this has touched your lips, and your iniquity, your sin is taken away, and your sin is expiated. Hear you indeed. He said, go tell the people, Isaiah, you hear, but you understand not. You see, but you perceive not. Make the heart of this people fat, make their ears heavy. That's why you can't get the drop, because your eyes have been shut. This dragon, this fiery, flying, burning one with 6 wings, instructed Isaiah with a glowing stone, touched his mouth, and said, your sins are taken away. Then he said, hey, look here, man, go tell the people. You ain't gonna get it right now. You're gonna have to get your eyes shut and your ears closed off. Hearing with your ears, but understand with their heart. Return and be healed, lest they see with their eyes, hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and return and be healed. That's what you're doing right now, but for a long time you had your eyes shut and your ears were too heavy to hear the truth. Now, Drop Nation, now you can see with your eyes again. 360-degree dragonfly perspective. That means a full panorama, not just 33 degrees, 360 degrees. Because a dragonfly can see panorama view. A dragonfly will see you while he's flying away. He can see behind him, 360 degrees. Less with their eyes, they start to see, and with their ears, they start to hear the truth. And they start to understand and understand with their heart. And they return to the Creator and they're healed. They return. So the spell will wear off and you're going to return. What happens when you return? Let's put it all together. We're just in the Tanakh. We just in the Tanakh on these sessions, man. Drop Nation, what happens when you return to the Creator? What have we been getting at the whole time? What does Templar Irvin read every single Shabbat with that Drop Nation, Declaration of Independence. What happens when you return? Oh, Israel, you've gone a long time without no king, without no Khan, without no priest, without no prince, without no sacrifice. Afterwards shall the children of Israel return. Then what, Drop Nation? Seek Hawa. Seek Hawa. And David. Why must you seek David? Remember Psalms 18? How the Creator listens to David, came down and saved Israel with fire out of his mouth. Why must you seek David? It's all about the order and it's all about the keys, and David has the keys to getting the ear of Hawa. David has the keys to getting Hawa's anger stirred up towards the hijack. David has the keys to getting Hawa breathing fire out of his mouth, smoke out of his nostrils, flying on the wings of the wind to devour, to devour, to devour. David got the keys. There's no room for no Jesus, New Testament, Yahweh Shai. David has the keys. That's why they turned the New Test into a new tune. And the Old Test is your ancient love song. But now you're starting to see, you're starting to return. You're starting to seek Hawa. And David, the Khan. David never called himself king. That's English. David don't speak no English. David is the Khan. Love to Sister Sonia. King David of Israel is the Grand Khan, is the Prester John of the Indies. Body bag, Daniel. Body bag for the illusion. We're not talking the reflections and duplications. Oh boy, we're not talking the reflections and the duplication. How many wings do they have? I mean, Rap the News said they got more than one, right? Isaiah 6 say the Seraph got 6, which blew me away that he's seeing more than 2 wings. Because we just got in Isaiah 6 that they got 6 wings.
Side of that, and it's flying, man. Some of them look like they have more than 2 wings, but they're flying. They have more than 2 wings, but they're flying.
Come on,
like they have more than 2 wings, but they're flying. So here you got a whole lot of space debris right here. And if you actually put the pieces together and put it together, these things are actually flying. That's put together right there. So if it's flying out here, then there is many, and I'm talking about, they look like billions of angels.
Billions of dragons. Hawa has infinite thousands. Infinite thousands is billions. And Prester John, the legend, his sources love the Aqua Tide battle. We got the PDF up in the drop library. Dig on the drop library. Password is still 1234 to get through the door at 432thedrop.com. Dig on the drop library. Love to let us find the truth. Who created the first library that we started digging on virtually, and we applied it to our classroom. All praise Hawa, and with the help of that brother who helped us build our library with our first, sources, say Go Crazy. Love to Uno, who dropped many sources. Love to Aqua Tide, who continues to be the record keeper for the tribe. And we've kept the water flowing. Drop Nation. Get in there. Get the World's Beyond the Pole. Get that drop. Get the Prester John and Legend and sources and so much more. While it's available. I mean, these are sources and we want to utilize them and, get all those sources, copy them. Like Mayo got extensive library as well, man. Love to carry mail, who drops a lot of drop in the drop library as well. And I know you do too. And we're working, man, to make it even more interactive. And, hey, it's step by step, man. We got to make sure we got the drop. We got to make sure we're reconning. We got to keep the water flowing. You know what I'm saying? Keep the ether flowing every day. You know what I mean? We got to just, keep our lives and our family flowing. So it's not happening everything as fast as we want to. We want to get so much done with the library and the website and so much more, man. But, so far we got a small team, but we know we're building, man, in real time, man. We know we got infinite thousands of dragons on the wall. And they're flying, man. They're flying, man. They're flying.
But they're flying. So here you got a whole lot of space debris right here. And if you actually put the pieces together and put it together, these things are actually flying. That's put together right there. So if it's...
See the tail? Star with a tail?
Flying out here, then there is many, and I'm talking about, they look like billions of angels that's on their way.
Wow. Billions of dragons on their way.
You guys tell me what y'all think. This is Raptor News.
Y'all tell me what y'all think, man. Ahab to Raptor News. Ahab, man. This is amazing. That's amazing. I'd love to carry Meteor for sending that drop in. Oh, man. Let's just dig on a couple more quick clips of, some drag and drop for the dismount. Ahab to the real ones. Let's get this drop here.
What are the big challenges
in this world? I gotta mute this. I gotta mute this wizard. Spirit fingers. I gotta mute the wizard, man. 5 spectacular dragon sightings. Let's go. Let's get it back. Oh, damn. Dodge the hijack. All right, let's check this one out. Now, think about a couple things when you see these flashes. Is it just the dragon that's flashing, coming in? Like you said, billions of these flying angels are coming in. Are we looking at fireballs? Are they spitting fire? Is that what we're seeing? Does this look like a fireball maybe that got thrown, from the dragon's mouth? It's a lot of perspective we got to dig on. Or did the dragon just go supersonic? Super Saiyan? Ooh-wee. Star with a tail. Ooh. Look at that jump. Like, look like it changed directions, or there's a couple of them just on that one right there. You got something popping off here, right? And then bang, something pop off over here. That's great. Now, this is interesting. Look at how red this gets. And I'm going to do a dismount with what's going on in Australia. And I want you to remember these red skies, all right? It's like another sun, huh? This lights everything up. It's another sun, huh? Star with a tail. Number one. Woo-wee. That's serious business right there. You can see the whole joint coming in. I mean, that's as good as it gets. In broad daylight. Star with a tail. Bearded with tangled locks. Luminous, igneous. It's almost like it goes invisible on the end. And it just shakes up the whole ground, man. I mean, these people go crazy. Hey. It's like something like a bomb went off, man, with this dragon flying over. Boy, I tell you.
Don't forget to subscribe and check out my previous top 5.
No. We don't subscribe. We're not subscribers. Get that drop, man. Get that drop. Oh, man. This one right here got to do with watching dragons spit fire. 8-second clip. Watching the dragon spit fire. Then that got me thinking, are we looking at the dragon spitting fire? Is that the fireball? I mean, that's as real as it gets, too. Same thing as we saw with broad daylight. Repeatable and observable. You know, evidence that we are watching something that's truly heavenly. You know, it's not just about rocks and meteor, dead rocks. They said, 10. What did they say? 10 something meteor. Oh, come on, man. Hijack City. All right. 10-ton meteor. Well, what's a meteor? You know what I mean? We got to decode all this stuff, man. And if we didn't start doing this and just collecting the drop so that we know that there's researchers such as Elizabeth Warner in the Meteor Beliefs Projects connecting dragons and connecting meteors, dragons as meteors, dragons as meteors, dragons as meteors, then we can now see clearly and say, oh, 10-ton dragon falling over Russia caught on camera. Lego.
Через минуты 3 примерно громкий толчок вниз, станет вокруг, люди выпрыгали, кто-то кричал конец свету.
The thing bursted through the windows, bursted up the streets.
Терминатор 4, где судный день, это было сильно очень ярко. Просто разлетел стеной, в этом ангаре, и нет просто очень яркое солнце. Можно всегда тут кухню выходит, а потом очень ярко, размылось секунду 2-3 примерно. Потом минуты через 30 и готов берут.
Территорий Уральского федерального округа, Курганской, Челябинской, Свердловской, Тюменской областях, а также на территории Казахстана прошел метеоритный дождь, в результате чего были зафиксированы частичные разрушения остекления верхних этажей зданий. Силы и средства РСЧС и МЧС России были приведены в режим повышенной готовности. Это более 20 тысяч человек, которые приступили к обследованию территорий, уточнению обстановки. По состоянию на 10 часов 30 минут по результатам проведенной разведки и обследования было выявлено, что радиационный фон на территории субъекта Российской Федерации находится в норме. Системы и объекты энергетики, связи, транспортной инфраструктуры.
Man, so they went on red alert, man. They went on high alert. Why? For a rock? Nah, they said, man, there's a dragon in the atmosphere. There's a dragon in the atmosphere. This one got an interesting picture, man. I'm going to pull it up right here. This is red dragon's tail, moon-like object, speed through the sky. Love to Brandon, Corey, Nagley. All right, fair use, fair use. We're just doing some, you know. We're just digging on it. Don't mind us. Don't mind us, man. Fair use in y'all caboose, man. Star with the tail, bearded with tangled locks, claiming they have no clue what it is, looks to be a meteor, and I'm sure they do not or do know, yet they're not telling us. Now look at that red tail, man. Let's go back. All right, so it says SpaceX caught this through the space shell, claiming they have no clue what it is. So down here you see eyes, you see a nose, you see a mouth, look like a beard. His locks could be flowing back. What is this, y'all? What is this? SpaceX caught this going through the stratosphere, worlds beyond the pole. Look at his big old face. Look like the never-ending story, right? It looks like the shaggy dog in the never-ending story. But look at that red tail. What does that red tail mean? What do them red dragons mean? What does that red kachina mean? And look at the face on this thing. Caught by SpaceX. Look at the beard on this thing. Dragons everywhere. Meteor? Star with the tail? Bearded? Tangled locks. We're just surfing the wave. We're just surfing the wave. SpaceX caught this like a rainbow dragon with a long red tail. Any questions? Any questions? That red comet mean one thing, boy. Remember you saw that redness in the street? All that redness came in when that comet came in. I said, remember all that red sky? Look at all this red tail, right? Look at all that red tail, right? Fair use in your caboose, bone. Because that red comet mean one thing, boy.
One of the men talking about the comet said it's an omen. So it means Rob will win a great victory in the south.
Did they? I heard some other fools say it's Lannister red. Means the Lannisters will rule all 7 kingdoms before long. I heard a stable boy say it's the colour of blood. About the death of your father. Stars don't fall from men. Red comet means one thing, boy. Dragons.
That red comet mean one thing, boy. Dragons. Because comets are dragons. And meteors are dragons. Atmospheric phenomena. That red comet mean one thing, boy.
Thing, boy. Dragons.
One thing, boy.
Dragons. Boy. Dragons. Comet means one thing, boy. Dragons. Red comet means one thing, boy. Dragons.
Ping. Pow. What's going down in Australia? Comet mean one thing, boy. Dragons. That red comet mean one thing, boy. Dragons. That red comet mean one thing, boy. That red comet mean one thing. Dragons. Keep emptying your cup. Keep surfing the wave until you become the Watah. Shalom.